And we're live. Welcome to Saturday evening with Adam and Rex. That is Adam pointing to himself. So the other one is me by default. You're still mute, Adam. And saying hi to BS. We have a lot of BS on the show. From Southern California, our old stomping grounds, Adam. Okay, you're off mute. Kelly's Creative Dreams from Southeast Missouri. Well, Kelly, you're welcome to stay just as long as you can. And welcome to leave when you need to. Adam looks so serious here. Oh, he was serious. He left us. So there are a few things in the news that you'd like to share them in comments. We have our moderators, Mel and Missy. We're grateful for them. And if you want to talk about, we don't have any particular insight that you don't have, but they are good topics that are related. Chad's house being sold, in the process of being sold and turned into possibly a park, kind of. For those of us that know the story, it'll be a memorial, I'm sure, for that. And we can expect appeal after appeal after appeal for a long time. So frankly, I didn't listen to the hearing this last week for Chad's, the first of what I'm sure will be many, many appeal hearings. And but if you'd like to talk about that, we can talk about that. And we like talking about anything that's on your mind. What we're excited about is the direction this community is going, and we've been talking about that for a while. And starting around 9/11, of course, a significant day in recent American history, we're going to be starting with a theme and a certain emphasis. And we're going to run that theme for a while, and then a related theme and a theme after that. But Adam, do you want to tell them what the first theme is going to be as we start around 9/11?
Sure. We actually, we've been talking about healing, and we've been talking, we've had several therapists on, and realizing that there's a lot of need for this. We've had a few veterans on that have talked about PTSD. And so, the first round of focus group for us is going to be focusing on that healing from, post-traumatic syndrome. And, I feel like, when you think of PTSD, you think automatically, you think veterans, you think guys who have been in Afghanistan or women who have experienced war and all that. That's where a lot of people who don't have it relate it to. But it's way deeper than that, and a lot more people have it for different reasons. And so we're excited to kind of focus on that for a while and really try to help with that. And a lot of people have sent us comments and stuff and said they just love that they're learning so much when they turn on the podcast about something that's going on in their life, or something that maybe Ben said or somebody else said that resonates with them. So that's where we're focusing on, I think, for the next couple months.
In fact, Adam, one of the first thing that comes to mind for me when you say that is something Ben taught us right at the get-go, as they say, is that trauma is trauma. It doesn't matter if it was caused in combat, by abuse, or just someone being rude or mean to you. Your brain treats trauma the same, regardless of the cause. And so there is a lot for all of us to relate to and to learn, even if it's not combat related. We're going to talk about combat related PTS first, because we want to gather resources for people. We are going to post them on our new website. Okay. Now, we aren't ready to announce the website. We are exploring it, but there's a lot of work that two volunteers have been doing. And I didn't ask Jen. Jen is on now. I didn't ask if we could use your name, but I'm going to anyway. Thank you, Jen. And also, Andy, go ahead, Adam. You were going to say something.
I was going to say, Jen, whether you like it or not, you're going to get acknowledged. Sorry about that, but here we go.
Look at this. We have some comments from Jen, and so her name was right here in front of me while I said that. Okay, I'm going to put this on the screen first. Rex gets the awards from me this last few weeks. I've been listening to my internal guidance.
Yes.
We love that. I've been trying to do that, and it's not as easy as it sounds, is it, Jen? I was just having this conversation with Lisa. Say, okay, I can listen to it. Why don't I do what it tells me to do? That's the.
Am I going to do what my gut feeling is telling me to do? And what's funny about that, Rex? I don't know how funny it is, but it makes you think. When your internal guidance system, your gut feeling, your inner spirit, whatever that is, tells you to do something, there is a lot of times in life where we all shy away from it just because the circumstances would be either embarrassing or hard to explain or uncomfortable for you and take you out of your comfort zone. So with those things, it's sometimes you're even though it's the right thing to do and your gut's telling you to do it, a lot of times we avoid it because we don't want to go through whatever that is that we will have to go through. And then there's always consequences when you don't do that. So obviously it's a double-edged sword. And like you said, it's very difficult sometimes to listen to your conscience and act on it.
Yeah. The acting on it is the real hard part, isn't it? Sometimes
it can be. Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes like, oh, I know this is it. I'm out. I don't care what it is. I'm out, or whatever it is. Yeah.
So thank you for that, Jen. Going back to what I was getting back to the subject we started on, I wanted to thank a couple of our volunteers, Darlene Butler and Andy. Andy goes under a pseudonym on here, but I just asked her if it's okay if we used her name. She said, yes, it's Andy. And I'm not sure, Andy, if I'm pronouncing it right. I believe it's Levy, Lavey. They have volunteered and been doing some work in the background that we're going to bring out a little bit tonight, but y'all will see it more and more. They're going through some of the work to list our podcast and give you an index or a resource where to find certain subjects and where to find guests that have been on. So they're indexing all of them, and they're going to put them on a website. Now, we don't know if this is going to be the website, but conceptually, this is what it is. I'm going to bring up on the screen here. The idea is we will have a website. Let me get it on now. Here it is. We'll have a website, and on the website will be by topic, Lori Vallow, JJ and Tylee, Charles, Alex, Healing, and in which episode we talked about them or highlighted them. Not that we brought up their name, but if it was mostly about Alex, for example, you can go and find which episodes talk about Alex, which episodes talk specifically about healing, which episodes had guests on them. So they're doing a lot of work behind the scenes. We hadn't thanked them till now, and just want to thank them for that work.
That's awesome. Because some of the questions that we get too, you and I are like, well, we did an episode, but I'm not sure. You're gonna have to scroll through all of them to find it. So that's amazing.
Yeah. So we're doing some work to make it easier. And here's what we're working toward. When we start emphasizing, for example, the first topic we're going to emphasize is PTSD. Combat PTSD, but also it'll branch into all PTSD and family members of people that have had PTSD, like the work Alice Connor is doing when she has her support for the supporters group. We want that all of that information. We'll put it several places, including the Facebook community, the descriptions on the podcast. We'll put links to it, but we want one place that people can go to for resources. That's why we're developing a website. We want to be a resource eventually as it grows for anyone as they face traumatic situations. They can go find a video that deals with it. They can find professionals that deal with it. We'll have a bio on there and a link to professional assistance they can get. Or maybe they just want to talk with someone. That is so important when you're in the situation. Now, our last two podcasts have been a lot about domestic violence and abuse that happens just in people's day-to-day life. And we're learning many of you know this from experience. Adam and I are learning this from you, that you need people to connect with. And sometimes you can't connect with your normal people that are in your circle because you feel ashamed, or you feel unsafe. So you need some safe people you can connect with. And we're just like Alice is talking about in her Patreon group, Support for the Supporters. We want some ready references for you. So whether it's you or you know someone going through it, you can tell them, hey, I know a website where you can find some resources right away. And you can go to our website. So that work is going on behind the scenes here. Just wanted to make y'all aware of that.
We got people all over the world watching. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you drop a note to us. Let us know who you are, where you're at, how long you've been an optimist. What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? What would you like to see on the podcast that could help you? Rex and I are looking for ways to, spread the word and help people with whatever they're looking for. People are coming here. New people are coming here all the time to this podcast looking for, something, and we want it to be safe for everybody. So hopefully you feel safe here. You can, make comments, you can ask questions and not get looked at or judged or anything like that. So let us know on the comments if you are watching our live podcast, where you're at, how long you've been an optimist, and what you're looking to get out of it.
And we really like it when you share something like Cindy did here, Cindy Hensley. My silver lining for this week is I found a new psychiatrist that I started this coming week, and I'm excited to really start healing from my traumas. That is exciting when you can find that person, if you connect with them. So good work, Cindy. We encourage that, and we're behind you on that.
Totally.
Well done.
And that's a process for a lot of people, trying to go through and talk and search and listen and talk and, try to find somebody that you connect with before you go through all the starting and talking about all your stuff you want to try to work on.
And I have to selfishly show this, a plug for my book from Genuinely Gina. Thank you, Gina.
Oh, nice. What does it say?
Hello, optimists. For those who haven't checked it out, Rex's book, Create the Life You Crave, goes into more detail about following your internal guidance. It was a great read. Thank you, Adam and Rex. Thank you, Gina, for bringing that up. You can get that on Amazon. So we do have sponsors, Adam. We just did a commercial.
Yes, there you go. Your book does have really good insight on that, and I think a lot of people that would read it would benefit from it.
Thanks for that. I know there are a lot of real life examples. That's what I did most of in writing the book, is use real life examples, highlighting some of my own children. And the very first story, one from which I learned a lot about someone following their guidance, was my own daughter. When she, just tell her story real quickly. I don't think I need to ask permission right now because she's in.
Let me text her. Hey, Kaylee, he's about to talk about you. Do you want this?
But it's the story that's in the book, and she said I could use it.
So then it's good. You're good.
Yeah. But she's in Austria right now to see the Taylor Swift concert, which was canceled because of terrorist threats, and she's already in Austria. So
traveled to Austria to see Taylor Swift.
She and Melissa. Yeah. Well, Kaylee's a Swiftie.
Oh
And
my.
get this, they wanted to go see her in Miami, and the seats cost more in Miami. Nosebleed seats cost more than it costs to fly to Austria and get tickets there.
What?
So they did it to save money.
Oh my gosh.
Is that insane? But this
That is
daughter
insane.
went to Disney. She's single, went to Disney. She is a character actor. She was a friend of Ariel. I got to see her there. It was just a life highlight to see your child do something that meant so much to them. She was 4 other characters also. She was, let's see, there's Goofy, and who's the other one? She wasn't Goofy. She is the Pluto. She is Pluto, but she is a face character, friend of Ariel. You know, in Disney, the training, they teach teamwork so much. She really got into the teamwork, ended up pregnant. And so, you know, that's a family scandal, so to speak. Okay, your teenage daughter's pregnant. Now, what do you do? And everyone had their advice.
Yeah.
For a kid she is 19 years old, what a wonderful example to us. She listened to everyone, you know, including myself, including her mom, listened to Lisa, listened to all of us, but she made her own decision. And she did it for reasons when she told us why she didn't. The decision was to keep the baby. That's not the easy path through, but that was the decision. At the time, I was pro adoption, you know, unwed mother, etc. Everyone has their own perspective on it. That's not my point here. The point is, she listened to all of us, parents, sisters, etc., then made her own decision for reasons that hadn't even entered my mind. But she knew internally exactly what she was supposed to do and was strong enough to do it. She didn't know how she was going to do it, but she knew what to do. And yeah, it was rough, but turned out extremely well. And that was a big influence on me, especially as I was considering the book. So thank you, Gina, for that advertisement that let me go off on that sidetrack. Let's talk about some news related to the property. We found out that the property is up for sale. There's an interested buyer. Nate Eaton reported an anonymous purchaser that's apparently going through the process of purchasing it and be turned into some type of park or memorial. Linda Stewart's telling us here in the comment that the property is being turned into some kind of memorial for those who were victims. And that is whoever the person is. You know, there are rumors. I've heard names or a name of someone who's in the area, very generous person that has the means to do this, but they want to remain anonymous. So we want to honor that, of course. That would just be a great thought. So give us your thoughts on this turn of events.
Well, I heard some stuff too. They bought Chad's property. They're staying anonymous. Apparently they're talking to members of our family, which I don't know any members of our family that have talked to them.
Well, they said family members, which
could be anybody. There's a lot. Yeah. And then I think they want to take down the house, the barn, take everything down and turning it into a park. So that's what I've heard. So not sure exactly what that looks like or how that is, but as things go further and we figure out what more it's going to look like, I'll have more of an opinion on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but anyone that's that generous and thoughtful of so many people, I just applaud the effort. Another comment relating to the cases from Nancy Morales. Do you think Chad had ineffective counsel, which was a contention of the appeals? I think we're going to hear everything in the appeals, including that. And I'm really not of legal experience to say how effective or ineffective the counsel was, but it's certainly not surprising that that's the first objection, or first substance of appeal. Oh, he didn't have effective counsel. Well,
how do you have an effective of counsel when you know you're guilty and everybody else knows you're guilty? What else is there?
And there is a mountain of evidence.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do to defend him or Lori? I mean, you can't really do anything to defend him. We all know what happened. Mm-hmm. So I mean, anybody that's going to sit next to them and defend them, they're at a disadvantage automatically right off the bat. There's really not a lot they can do except for do what they're supposed to do and just be in court and try to, make it look a little sketchy.
Yeah. And I imagine I'm guessing what they're trying to do, Adam, is to say, well, he should have been able to get him off from the death penalty. That's probably the ultimate goal here.
Yeah.
And, maybe there are different strategies, I suppose, for doing that. And as you know, Adam, that was the whole strategy of Lori's team, especially early on. And then when she did get off the death penalty before the trial even started, that whole part of her team that was part of the team for that purpose, boom, they didn't need him anymore. They laid him right off.
Right.
Yeah. So, I don't think there's any way they were going to be found innocent, but the death penalty may be the question as far as were they effective at keeping him off the death penalty.
What's weird about that is, of course, obviously Lori, I don't know, nobody really knows what she's thinking, but she didn't want a long drawn out deal where she was like, I'm ready to go to court now. I don't want a long court. So just because of that, they didn't have enough time to present for the death penalty, which she went straight in without even having that on the table. Like you said, Chad, on the other hand, did his, I'm going to take 1.5 years and we're going to get this thing and go through the whole thing where, the death penalty was on the table. And then Lori here in Arizona wanted a fast and speedy trial. And the judge finally said, no, you're not going to get a fast and we're going to extend it so your lawyers can actually work on your case, even though that's what she wanted. So it's such a weird, the judicial system and how it's planned out. It's so weird how one judge says this and another judge says that. And, what's going to happen? We all know they're guilty. So it's just, I guess, a matter of time now.
Yep. Two completely different circumstances, of course, the timing on those when she's already serving three life sentences.
Right.
Oh, here's an interesting note. Again, follow up from Jen Becker. I'll be honest, LOL, I went to counseling. I went to counseling. I stopped because I realized my listening to my internal guidance, if I trusted myself in this group, has helped me more than ever. So kudos, first of all, to listening to your internal guidance. Kudos to this group, this entire group. Untold numbers of people have been helped by y'all. Just from what we've been reading about different people who've plugged into this group. It's just miraculous. And that doesn't mean Jen that the counseling was ineffective or that she won't go back to counseling, or maybe she will, maybe you won't. If you listen to your internal guidance, I am convinced, my opinion is, it will help you. It will help you find the right counselor. It'll help you know the timing that's good for you or not. When to go in, when to stop. I just think listening to your internal guidance, not your own reasoning. Internal guidance is something different. I just think you're on pretty good grounds doing that. So thank you, Jen, for that comment. See, for example, Cindy Hensley says, I have 2 therapists now. LOL.
Right. She tied you.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a competition, but yeah, I'm with you on that.
Somebody get 3 so we can one up Rex.
Hey, I can always go to Ben and make it 3. I'm learning a lot from Ben just from every time he comes on this podcast. I just learn.
Yeah, I feel like Ben's helped me. I feel like who's our other guy?
Denham.
Denham.
Lisa in the other room.
Denham. I couldn't think of Denham's name. And I love denim. And so there's been times where I'm like, feel like I am in therapy on this podcast. So those have been great experiences.
Well, you were that time with denim for sure. So denim.
Yeah, we did a whole 30 minutes on me. I did a live session on here.
Hey, here's a good note when we're talking resources, Adam. This is exactly what I'm talking about here from Lee T. Dr. Phil's wife, Robin, started an app several years ago in honor of her mom for people to be able to have hidden app that texts friends and or 911 if they're in danger. Looks like a news app. The app is called Aspire. Wow. This is exactly the type of resource that we want to have here to make people aware of things. So thank you, Lee T. We'll have to be sure to capture that and put it on our ad when we get our site up. And because when people are in danger, the person a lot of times is controlling them to the point of looking on their phone. What are they looking at? Who are they contacting, et cetera? And so what a great idea there. So kudos to Dr. Phil's wife, Robin, and to Lee for sharing that with us. Here's a look at this sobering note from Ada Van. Hi guys, happy to see you. We had a tornado here in Ohio and didn't have power for almost 5 days.
Wow.
So talk about adding insult to injury. You have a tornado, so your life's at risk and those, everyone around you, et cetera. And then to be without power for almost 5 days after that. That's a terrible.
So so we talked about this before too. And some people, call preppers a little crazy and a little wacky if you're a prepper or whatever. But to be honest with you, some are. But being prepared, having a month's worth of food or water or a flashlight with batteries or whatever it is. Those are always good for this kind of situation. You're without electricity for 5 days. You got food, you got water, you got, whatever lights you need, battery driven. Like I'm a fan of that. And so I know some people are making fun of preppers, but some of them, they when stuff like that happens, they're the ones you're knocking on their door for help.
That's right. And they're aware of that. And in fact, I've shared this before, and because in our church is well known because church leaders for a long time have been saying, have supplies, 2-year supply, 36 hours kit, et cetera. And people laugh at that, and they laugh at when we moved, we had tons of dehydrated food to move,
food storage everywhere.
Food storage, oh my goodness, all the time. And people laugh at it, but I had a friend of a friend. The friend told me his friend said, "Hey, you can laugh all you want, but I've got my emergency plan in place right here." "Oh yeah, what is it?" "I've got a 30-06. I've got ammunition, and I've got a list of my Mormon neighbors that if stuff goes down, I'll know who has supplies."
Knock on the door with a gun, clang, 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 clang. "Hey, open up in there. I need some wheat."
Yeah. Hope you have a grinder for that wheat.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's back to real life. We go back and forth here. We're laughing a lot of the time, and then we go back to real life situations. From Tammy Morgan in Texas. I'll be in Texas next week, or about 10 days.
Lucky.
My biggest challenge is dealing with all the changes going on in the world. I'm having a hard time being optimistic about it. Do you have any observations on that Adam? Because I can certainly understand that, especially if you watch the news a lot. Oh my goodness, is it horrifying?
Well, yeah, there's a lot, and I don't know where she's going with this as far as what she means, but it's scary. There's a lot of scary things that are happening. Like you said, it's, they say that when good is evil and evil is good, it looks like that is where we're at in life right now. We see a lot of that. I know there's a 7-point-something earthquake that hit Japan. I have a friend that was going to be going to Japan next week, and they said that there's an alert there that a mega earthquake could hit. So they're canceling their trip to Japan, which caused tsunamis. I know California had a big earthquake by Bakersfield. I know, and there's volcanoes erupting. There's a lot of chaos in the world, but that's other stuff too. Then there's all the political stuff, which we're not going to get into, but it seems like it's the economic things, like it's just everything is barreling down. So I don't blame you at all for being concerned, because there's a lot of people that are concerned with what's going to happen to everything. And then especially with Iran going and Israel and all that stuff that's going on still. And I mean, there's a lot to think about. And so, I'm with you. I'm concerned too. I don't know how do I divide what I think about? Do I think about more positive things and try to avoid that, put my head in the sand, or am I aware of everything that's going on and still try to stay positive of what I'm trying to do with my life?
I like that. Adam. And not giving advice, but just your perspective. And I'm similar to that. Not surprisingly. I look at what is in my circle of influence and try to do everything I can do there. And in my circle of influence, there's a whole lot of positive stuff I can do, even if it's preparing for disasters, if you think that might be part of your life. But outside of your circle of influence, there is a huge area. It's called the circle of concern. All these things concern you, like politics concern you, weather concerns you, natural disasters, man-made disasters, economic disasters, disasters inside of your family members that are going off the rails and you can do nothing about it, and friends that same thing. And when you can do nothing about it, that's scary. The only comfort I find is staying focused in my circle of influence, things I can influence. And then when I do that, I find there is more in my circle of influence, more where there's something I can actually do, put my energy in, more there than I have the time or resources to do. So there's more good in the world that I can do than I have time and resources. That keeps me from spending much of, if any, time outside my circle of influence, because I can't do anything about that. And there's more than I can do within my circle of influence. So I need to focus whatever I got, time and influence and energy wise, I can keep it focused 24/7, doing good, which makes me feel good, makes me feel a lot more optimistic than focusing on things I can't worry about.
And I talk about this with a few of my clients in Accountable about breaking up your day, because you sleep for 8 hours, you work for 8 hours on an average, you have 8 hours to yourself. How are you breaking up with that 8 hours? And what are you doing with that 8 hours? And the more and more you really break down your day of what you're doing and you analyze what you're doing, you realize how much time you're wasting on things that you can't control, instead of really focusing on the things that you can control and putting your time and energy in things you can control, just like what Rex said. And it's amazing transformation. And your attitude goes from being scared and worried to being excited and feeling gratitude and grateful and joy. And usually, joy is the one thing I seek and search for. So those are things that have helped.
Very good. And you mean the feeling of joy?
Feeling of joy.
Not a specific girl you're looking for.
No, okay. Feeling of joy. You're right.
Just got to stay tuned to your situation. And
yes.
Okay, but thanks for sharing that concern there, Tammy, and letting us discuss it a little. Diana Rose Green said, "Hi guys, I finally caught alive. Here's why I wanted to put this comment up here." Okay. She's from Riverton, Wyoming. "I'm one of your quiet followers. You are in the majority. Most of our followers are quiet about it. They may be afraid to be associated with it. I don't know, but we love our quiet followers, and we recognize, we know your quiet followers are there. Right now, I'm dealing with trust issues within marriage. Forgiveness and healing are happening What a difficult situation. Diana, I wish we had fixes for you, but we're thrilled to hear forgiveness and healing are happening. Thrilled that you're part of this community, because this is a great community to plug in, to be safe, to talk, I should say, to comment, or to talk. Patreon members, Adam, this Sunday, I'm going to use this opportunity to promote our community.
Our chit chat on
tomorrow at this same time, 4:30 Mountain Time, is if you're on Patreon, or if you want to check it out and don't want to spend the $10 to get on Patreon, send an email to rexandadam@gmail.com, and we'll we'll have the
foundation sponsor.
Foundation, thank you, has generously offered to pay for people's first month so they can see if it's worthwhile. So that's tomorrow night, and it's a Zoom call. You don't have to type in your comments. You'll be able to say your comments. We love that. We love interacting with you, and being able to interact on that level is great. Back to Diana's statement here, just so I get that plug in there.
Yes.
Forgiveness and healing are happening. You're in the right community for that. And thank you again to everyone in the community that shares what's going on with them, like Diana, and that supports people like that. So the Facebook group, again, kudos to Kimberly that started and administers the Facebook group, Lindsay, who helps her quite a bit with that and helps us quite a bit with everything else she has going on. That's a great community to be a part of too. So thank you for sharing that, Diana.
And going back, Diana, with trust in a marriage, trust and forgiveness. I mean, it's a difficult thing to do, but if you both are dedicated to doing it, it can't just be one of the people that's dedicated to doing it. Both of you have to be all in on that for it to work.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And another serious life issue from Linda Stewart. I'd love it if you could address the aspect of grief in connection to PTSD. And we will do better than that, Linda. We will bring on guests to address grief, people that do professional counseling in that. And we have those resources, but specifically about grief. And that's such a good point. And maybe it was you, Linda, or someone else that brought that up in a comment. But we want it professionally, instead of me and Adam giving our shot at it, a topic so serious like that. We want a professional to come on, and we will have one soon.
Yes.
Hopefully soon enough for you, but in connection with PTSD. So starting around September 11th, again, we're going to be focusing specifically on PTSD, and we will make sure there's an emphasis on the grief associated with it. And this is a subject near and dear to my heart, especially right now. And so I think I'm doing you a favor by us not trying to address that issue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, back to the property of Chad's, and then property of his lawyers that sold.
Yeah.
Lee tells us the nonprofit that bought the property is called Crossroad Park. They released a public letter this week.
Nice.
Okay, I didn't see that. Thank you, Lee, for that. I'm sure you can find it. Just Google it or find it probably on YouTube. It's probably posted there too. So thank you for that. And another, well, before I put this up, I have to give another exciting announcement, Adam.
Okay.
Our podcast, which we'll release on Tuesday, we're going to record it tomorrow. In fact, I have other ideas about this, Adam. I need to talk to you about.
Okay.
We'll get that off the air.
That's fine.
But the podcast will be Tom Evans, our friend who was juror 18. We didn't know him when he was juror 18. We'll make that clear. That worried a couple people when we said that before. He is juror 18 for Lori Vallow's trial, and then wrote the book, Sex, Money, Power. Wait, did I get that in the right order? I've got
Those
it.
are the three big ones.
Money, Power, and Sex. I've got it right here on my bookcase.
Perfect.
He wrote that. He was on Hidden True Crime. Lauren and John are good friends of his too, and great supporters of his. When he presented the first check, he said he was going to give the proceeds of the book to a very worthy cause. And he had a video of him and Lauren and John, his on their podcast, presenting the check to the Hope House. And we're going to have Tom on to talk about that. So that'll be the podcast on Tuesday. Tom Evans, juror number 18. And that I was reminded of that because the next comment from Diane L. I'm putting up. Did you see the interview with Rob Wood on Hidden True Crime? It was very good. Rob Wood gave his first live interview about the case. Did you happen to see that, Adam?
I did not see that.
I haven't seen the rest of it yet. I've been watching it. I'm not a big podcast watcher. Part of the reason
Part of the reason our podcasts are 30 minutes or the lives are an hour. There's nowhere that we're going 2, 3, 4 hours. Like, sorry.
Exactly, because I can't. I don't know if it's my attention span or what. I can't.
We both have ADD really bad.
Yeah, but love the people in it. Rob Wood, of course. I just can't thank enough. I thanked him in person a couple times during the trials, but can't thank him enough. And Lauren and John for having on, letting him talk unplugged, so to speak, more of a casual environment. Great interview. And since most of our optimists are also hidden gems, probably a lot of you that saw it, feel free to comment on here so everyone can see your comments. And I'm saying that because I know they have got to be positive comments, because Rob is just dead. The whole team, and there are a lot of people behind the scenes when you say team, but they did a wonderful job with the trials, and we just can't thank him enough for what he did. In fact, I passed him when I was there for Chad's trial. I had to go into the office before the trial started to get my pass so I could get a seat in there. And I walked in, and a victim's advocate was there, gave me the pass. I walked out. He was there at his desk just studying. I just had to thank him again. I can't thank him enough. I said, we're just grateful for every question you ask in there, because it's got to be consuming, and that's what this interview kind of brought out. So love Rob Wood and Lauren and John. It was a very good interview. I recommend that to you. Here's a great comment from Alicia. Kudos to your daughter. 35 years ago, I was in the same boat, 19 and pregnant. I did consider abortion for all of 2 seconds. I knew I couldn't do that. Then adoption for about 5 minutes. And I'll say, my point in bringing that up about Kaylee is, I'm not saying she did the right thing for anyone else except Kaylee. That's my point. All these options are available to you. Can you imagine what a terrible time of life that is, or a terrible dilemma in life, with everyone coming at you? But she went to her internal guidance first, decide what to do, and then listened to everybody, and then announced what she was going to do. And for her, it was the right decision. I'm convinced it's not because of the actual decision, like someone else should do the same thing. I'm convinced it's because
for her,
listened in here. Yeah, it was.
And on her, in her situation too. I mean, she had people that she really probably looked up to, you and Allison, like people that, have been a huge influence in her life. And I think in her mind, she was like, well, I don't want to disappoint them. They gave me this advice. But really, sometimes you do have to disappoint other people to go with your gut feeling. And that's part of the results of those things.
Yeah. And isn't that intriguing that you ask the advice of your parents, your sister, older siblings, etc.
Everybody. Yeah.
But she knew what to do.
Yeah.
And it was contrary to all these different
to what everybody is saying. Yeah.
And she had the strength to do it.
That's the thing. That is the thing.
I love that lesson. I love that example from her. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Diana simplifies. proudly says, I'm reading the proudly into it, Diana. I've been a prepper for years. There's nothing wacky about it. I don't have a year's worth, but I do have some stuff. I think some stuff is great.
What's your address just in case something goes down so we can come knock on your door?
That's a good place, Diana.
Send us your address just in case.
I don't know. You know, you put the title prepper on it and you think wacky, or you put the title wisdom on it and you think respect.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
So,
little words.
So Diana, you have the wisdom title on you.
No doubt.
So respect from us. Yeah, we have a little too, but not too much. Okay, Lily Rose, a good morning from Adelaide, Australia, AUS. So morning time there, as Adam said at the beginning, people from all over the world, and we love our multinational or international community here. I love this, Gina. We should have been saying this for you since you gave us the chance to plug our book. We should have plugged yours too. Journaling helps, talking about the trauma, you know, that we're all feeling to some degree in an unsettled world. I believe what Gina's saying, both that journaling helps and that she knows of a really good silver linings journal specifically built to record your silver linings during these times. And seriously, Gina, I mean, we smile because Gina is the one that provides that journal found on Amazon. But what a perfect use for it. When you're concerned about things, journaling does help, and looking for the silver linings in life helps so much. So perfect advertisement and plug there, Gina, for that. Thank you.
And Gina didn't give me props for mailing out your bracelets. That's fine. Okay, keep it that way.
Giving you props. She sent you the journal.
It was a joke. It's a joke for me sending her that.
And it may not have been starred. She may have done it. So
yeah.
Now we have poor Mel and Missy going through all the comments. Wait, did she send one here? I'm not blaming y'all. Bev Ball says, hi guys from the Lake District in the UK. Love your podcasts. I've sent you an email, but I haven't heard back from you.
Uh-oh.
Dang it.
That's my fault. I need to get on that email more. It's definitely my fault. Rex is on there as much as he can.
Okay. Thanks, Adam, for having my back. But
I will read a lot of the emails that actually today and tomorrow I have some time.
I must have missed it too. So I'm going to put this one on, Adam, and I'm going to go back and look at the emails. So if you'll take this one, can you read that on there?
I can't read that. What does it say? I can answer it if you can read it for me.
Okay, from Backwoods, Georgia Girl. Good title.
I like it.
I'm in a relationship with myself, and it's the best one I ever had recommended, Adam.
Oh, well, we've talked about this before too, where people got a little bit offended when we were talking to somebody about having somebody, and there's nothing wrong with being by yourself. But if you had the ultimate, when we had Denim on, and we were talking about having somebody that you're in love with, that it's your partner, and you have a great relationship, that would be number one. Being alone by yourself would be number two over being with somebody that you don't want to be with. That's what we had broke those three things down. And I think a lot of people that are by themselves, having a relationship with themselves, learning about themselves, loving that they don't have to compromise with anybody and they can do whatever they want to do. That we were saying that's second level. And third level would be, being in a relationship where it's not great. But I think there's a lot of things, me being divorced for 3.5 years now, or 3, I don't know, something like that. I've learned that being by myself, and I've always had somebody, and I talk about this all the time. I grew up with a family. I moved out to be in radio. I had a roommate. I met my wife at the time, was married, and been married that whole time until I got divorced. That was the first time I was by myself in an apartment by myself without anybody. And those first 6 months of being by myself, quiet house, no dog, no kids, no wife, no girlfriend, nothing, was a very difficult transition. But, over these 3 years, I've learned really how to focus my time and energy on things that are important to me, and learning who I am and being okay by myself right now. But yes, my goal would be find somebody that you're in love with, that you want to be with all the time, and in a relationship. I think that's number one. But number two is okay right now. If I explain that right, maybe you didn't understand it, but at least that's how my brain works, and that's how I think our conversation with Denim. I think that's how we went down.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Adam, because you said it well. Now here's Gina's shot back at you.
Okay. What'd she say?
Said, thank you, Rex. Adam, did you forget that I sent you a big thanks with a pic of the bracelets?
Yes, she
but
did.
She threw in the LOL. Good times.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, she did send you thank you. And Bev Ball, I don't know if you wrote your email under a different name, Bev in the UK. I looked in our emails. I didn't see the email from you. I went back a couple of months. So please give us another chance. Send it to rexandadam@gmail.com. Found out that some people are putting Adam and Rex at gmail.com. It doesn't go through that way. So it has to be, think of the R before A.
Or in the UK, they say mom. Maybe they think Adam is ADUM. Adam.
Rex and Adam.
A damn boy.
Okay. Try to do some catching up here. Diane L. is back. My silver lining is I'm getting together with my siblings tomorrow. We aren't able to see each other much.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that. Love that.
I love those silver linings when you're looking forward to things in life that are coming through, and then you have those special days. Those are amazing.
So I'll share a similar silver lining then, inspired from Diane. The 5 children, I have 5 children, and Lisa had 2, so those are my 2 bonus children. But my 5 children got together at Disney World last month without me. They held a family reunion without me, but just to let me know they were thinking of me in the group picture. It was the 5 siblings and most of their children, so it's a pretty big group. But there is a picture of me that one of them held up on a popsicle stick, so I could feel like I was part of the group. So
I love it.
Yeah, but my silver lining was that my 5 adult children love each other enough that they want to get together, and they're coming from different places in the country to get together. So I'm with you on that silver lining, Diane, from a little bit different perspective here. I'm going to call this a request, and one that we will definitely address at the same time, from Tamantha Jane. Is that Tamantha? I'm going to say Tamantha. Tamantha Jane would appreciate hearing how to handle grief for multiple family members within a short time span. Boy, it tears my heart out. I don't know how to handle that type of grief. So as we have a counselor on that will address grief, let's ask him to address that too, because I mean, several of you have shared your stories, especially in our Facebook group or on email, and have said, I'm not ready to come on your podcast, but here's my story. And they are just heart-wrenching. And ones like this in particular, where maybe you lose one family member here, turn around, lose another one to drugs, or lose another one to divorce, or whatever the situation, and they just come run right after the other. I alluded to a conversation I was having today, and that was something similar to the daughter of a good friend, where just had one event after another leading to my friend's events, and it's just heart-wrenching. So we will definitely address that one. Hope you can hold out for that, Tamantha Jane. I guess I'm reading it like that because Samantha's spelled the same way with a different letter.
With an S.
Yeah. Okay. Here's something to give you hope, Adam, from Lee T. Somewhere out there, you can sing the song in the background, Adam.
Somewhere in the that's somewhere under the rainbow.
No, this is James Ingram's, one of the greatest male voices in recording.
Okay.
James Ingram with Linda Ronstadt. Listen to that last note.
I'm too young for that kind of music, Rex.
One of the best notes ever sung when their voices come together. Anyway, you were like 45 years old when that was popular.
Oh, really?
Somewhere out there, there's a girl cow named Joy who's waiting for a hug from Adam.
Oh, my.
See what she did there? She's kind of bringing it all together.
All together. Well, I don't think I can marry a cow. I don't think that would be right. Could you imagine our family, how messed up our family is? And then all of a sudden, Adam marries a cow, a legitimate cow.
Who's waiting for a hug from Adam, not a proposal.
Oh, good. Yes, I do want to hug a cow and a horse. I want the therapy. I am working on getting that.
Okay. Moving on. Jewel Gazer, man, we can't agree with you more. Jewel Gazer, those jurors are silver linings. Each one of them, I've only met 2 or 3, but I am so grateful for those jurors. And we'll get a chance to thank Tom again, and by extension, ask him to thank his friends. He's remained or gotten to be good friends with many of the other jurors he is with, and even some of the jurors in Chad's case, because Tom's writing a book about that and has talked with several of them. I'm sure we'll hear more about that tomorrow or Tuesday when it's posted. You'll hear about Tuesday when it's posted. If you're in Patreon, you'll get it right after we get it. Send it through our sound stuff. Let's see, Tammy Morgan. Thank you, Tammy, for catching us up. I asked people to comment if they liked the interview. It was a good interview with Rob Wood. He said he admired Summer. I thought that was interesting and thought of Adam.
Yeah, Summer's brave. Summer's brave of what she's been through. Super brave. She's been through a lot.
Yeah, what she's been through. And I'll reiterate, I know I've said it before, but we were in court the same time, and it happened to be the day that Summer testified the second day we were there. But my daughters got on the plane and Summer was on the plane. They didn't coordinate with each other to go at the same time. But we were there when Summer sat as a witness in the witness box, listening to the tape of her screaming at Lori in that heartbreaking phone call that was recorded.
Mm-hmm.
And then answering questions, the cross-examination after going through that, I just, my admiration for her knew no bounds from that. Just, I don't know how she dealt with that. And glad that Rob Wood was so positive about her. Of course, she gets a lot of hate from different people for, whatever reason people find to dish out hate. We just know that's out there, but I just admire her working through that, or having to face that and doing so well with it. Lynn Redding says, I've also been a prepper for many years. I've got enough food for my family for about a year, and we have good hunting grounds here in Alabama.
Yes.
All on that.
Yes.
Yeah. Just one of the convenient byproducts of the Second Amendment is you can also hunt.
Yes. I love that people are prepared. Not, some people don't want to be called a prepper. You just want to be prepared. That's fine too.
Yeah, you get that same wisdom label, Lynn, as anyone else. And Redding gives you bonus points. Adam, you were too young really probably to remember Wade Redding, but
don't know.
He actually owned the store in San Bernardino called Storeway Foods, selling the dehydrated foods and the products that people use to prepare. I know this because my mom worked for him, and he was just a wonderful, wonderful person in our lives. Nice. So you get bonus points, Lynn, for having the same last name as Wade Redding.
That's cool.
Your mom and dad know his name well, Adam.
Do they?
Yeah.
I'll ask him about
Everyone
him.
knows Wade Redding, yeah. Everyone in my generation
Knew him.
Oh, and this is from Andy. This is her YouTube name, Anastasia Beaverhausen.
Nice.
Props to you, Adam. I have never not been in a relationship since I was 15. It's hard. And let's give props for that. That in itself is a tough way. I guess when you throw relationships in there, they're part of the bittersweet part of life. You know, it's tough, and you're always willing to deal with how tough they are to get the benefit of them, which makes it the best part of life.
Yeah.
You know, speaking as an old person who has the absolute, not only the best relationship I've ever had, but the best one I've ever seen at this, you know, I have that at this point in my life, makes everything worth it. Everything relationship wise, it makes it worth it. Are you coming in? Oh, look at this. On cue.
Let's see if she says the same thing. Lisa, is this your favorite relationship you've ever had?
Absolute worst. It's just horrible.
It's horrible. One says one thing, the other says another.
No, absolute best. Absolute best.
Yeah, see, I like to talk to people about your relationship. And I mention that all the time, that you guys, before your relationship really started, you said, what are our goals? What are our boundaries going to be? What do we want to do? Because it may be completely different than what's normal or what everybody else is doing. And when you guys do that, I mean, I love that you both have that in your relationship.
Creating your own relationship.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's great.
Go ahead.
Plus, he's really easy to live with. He's very easy to love.
Thank you. Easiest person in the house for you.
And the only person.
Anyway, I just want to say hi to everybody. Say hi to the group and all the Facebook group, and Maud Mel waving hi.
Yeah, Missy's on there too.
Oh, hi, Missy.
Alicia says hi, Lisa. Gina says hi, Lisa.
What a great group of people. Haven't been as active on the Facebook group. I got on there this morning, and it's always fun to see how everybody's doing and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
See that?
What?
Rex just lights up Jewel Gazer.
Oh. All right.
Yep, that's true. But we can tell them what Adam referred to the way we say it. When we got together, we said, okay, if this is, it looked like it's going to turn into a relationship.
Right.
We said, okay, what we'll do is we'll say there's only you and I, and throw out everything else, throughout worshiping, religion, our families, everything, and say, what do we together want to bring into our relationship? And we still do that today. That's an ongoing exercise.
That's awesome.
That keeps our relationship in the focus. Now, some of you right away are saying, well, you can't throw out God, or God should be the center of your relationship. By all means, you guys do it the way you want to. I'm just saying this is the way we went about it. And not to tell you how to do it, but that exercise has just been miraculous.
Well, it is. And you know, it helps you to know that you're aligned as well, because if you weren't in alignment to bring back in the things that were important to both of you, you know, you wouldn't be a good fit.
That's the whole point.
Yeah,
that's the point of doing it.
Because we both, family is very important to both of us, and
God.
You know, God, and I mean, everything that we brought back in is very important, and it was important to both of us. So anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense. You two go to first, you two, and then you start bringing in things that you both want or agree on, that this is how we want it to go, to see. I think that's great.
Yeah, both that we agree on. We don't necessarily both want them. Like, she has friends that I don't necessarily want to spend time with.
Yeah.
But I want her to spend time with them because it's important to her. She gets things out of it that I wouldn't get. And we're both aligned with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart.
I have friends that she doesn't want to spend time with and doesn't want me to spend time with.
Whatever.
So I don't.
Oh,
So I've worked that out in my back pocket.
Yeah, talk to
You
us
call
about
your friend, hey Jim, I know we've been friends for 40 years, but it's gonna be a no from this point forward.
Yeah, no, there's been none of that.
It's gonna be a no on the golf
We
course.
both voted yes for Adam.
Yes,
We
I'm
did.
in the group.
So, all right, good to see everybody.
All right, thanks, Lisa.
That's great. Feel free to stay.
Oh,
If
good.
you want to stay.
Nice job.
Kelly's creative dreams. Oh, you can put that back up. I was just starting to read it. Kelly's creative dreams says, Bob and I have been together 41 years this month.
That's amazing.
Congratulations on the anniversary. And
Yeah,
boy, 41 years.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Jewel Gazer, 39 years. Kelly's creative dream says, silver lining was seeing my brother-in-law and one of my nephews, plus meeting a great nephew. You're a Grant, a great aunt, like I'm a grunkle.
There you
Great
go.
nephew last week. Also seeing my granddaughters for the first time in 7 years. Wow. What a great silver lining, Kelly. Very excited for you to have such a positive experience there.
Yes.
Let's see. Greg Robertson. Good comment, Greg. So
Louis.
thankful now that Dr. Ruth is gone that we have Dr. Adam for our relationship advice.
Louis, please, Louis, don't do this. Greg is a guy that I got into radio years and years and years ago.
Really?
And yeah, he was a big fan of Alex. He was a big fan of Alex's impressions of doing Dr. Truth on my radio show.
Mhm.
Yes, go ahead. What is your problem?
I remember that character. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
But, Greg, so from Rialto, you're saying?
No, he's from Wichita, but he lived in Austin,
Wichita.
Texas. When I was on the radio in Austin, when you came to visit me that one time
When
in
you were-
Austin.
When you were Bo Nasty.
Yeah. Yep. And he says Bo Nasty was the greatest night jock he's ever heard in his life.
I agree with that. I'm with you on that, Greg. And thanks for being here and continuing to listen to Adam.
Yeah, he's such a good guy.
Oh, here's some great advice and talking grief in particular. Adam and I were hesitant to put out grief advice, but Franco has some great insights here in what she does. I recommend setting up a little side table with pictures of your deceased loved ones with a chair next to it. Every day you can visit with them a while enjoying some tea, coffee, or water.
Wow.
Just kind of a fantasy conversation with them.
Yep.
Or if you're, who was it? Real famous person that had his dad, what was it? Mastermind group.
Oh, you lost me.
But pertaining to talk to people that
Yes.
weren't there and having the conversation.
Yeah.
So thank you for that idea and insight, Ana Franco. And Erica Mesa says, we can talk about how amazing Rebecca's interview was on Tuesday. She's amazing. Yes. Adam, we haven't even talked about that.
Oh man, she's a soldier. I mean, she's so strong and what she went through and all. You didn't hear half the stuff that she didn't talk about on the podcast that she talked about off the podcast. And I'm amazed at her self-control. And she's a great person and her book's great. So yeah, I would support her for sure.
Yeah. So you can still go back and see that. And we have so many good podcasts. As I see a list from our volunteers that are helping us of people we've had on, I think, good grief, there's just not an appropriate way to continue thanking them, even though the effect of them being on the podcast continues on. Because it's recorded, anyone can go to it at any time. And there's just not enough way we can all give enough gratitude for them for coming on there. So thank you for that. I can still say thank you and try, even though there's not a way to appropriately thank them.
Yeah.
Here's another silver lining. I haven't been watching the time. I'm sorry. We're over. Adam, did you have to run off?
No, I'm good.
Okay,
me and Melanie have a meeting, but since she's moderating, she can't go anywhere.
Stuck on here with us.
She's stuck with us.
So 2 more starred comments. Sorry about that, but since we have one of them up, my silver lining was laying my dad's ashes to rest up in the Rocky Mountains in Montana at his favorite fishing spot. How great!
Oh, that's spectacular.
In a beautiful spot to where he can watch the fish jump every day.
That's amazing.
Cool, VLM. That's from VLM.
Man, do I love that.
Yeah, that's great. And let's see. Gina asks, she's calling us on this, Adam. Are you still working on adding to your book, Lori's Lies and Family Ties?
Sure. We're working on it.
Guilty. We are not even working on it.
I'm writing notes, Rex.
Okay, good. You're ahead of me on that then. So, yeah, haven't been working on it.
We haven't talked to Jane about it, but
we haven't. But I will say, and I'll say this as my final comment. I am so impressed that my 15-year-old granddaughter finished her first in a series of books. She has the second one almost finished and the third one storyboarded. She's been working with Jane. She's ready to publish her first books going through editing. And I told her, when you go back to school and teachers say, what did you do this summer? Remember, she's 15. She's in 10th grade. You have to say, I wrote a book and I'm getting it published by Many Realms Media. How exciting for a 15-year-old to do that. And Jane said, she is really good. I mean, honestly has a gift. You notice, Adam, she did not say that about you or I.
No.
You or me. But my granddaughter's just really good. So shout out to my granddaughter for that. And thank you for being with us. Sorry, I guess I'll say sorry to Adam if y'all are listening. That was your choice. But sorry to keep our moderators beyond time. They've probably been rolling their eyes. I haven't been looking enough.
No, they love it. They want to go 2 hours is what I heard.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sure. All right. Well, thank you, Adam. Thanks to the moderators, all of you for being part of what has been and turning into even more of a miraculous community. Stay with us. The community's we're going to continually feel better and better about how many people we can help.
Yeah.